it's me, Renee. I'm back. Sorry. And as you can see, this is a review, dual book review. So yeah, I read two books lately. Well, it sounds like I just read two books. I read two amazing books lately that I want to talk about. Simply as that, really. First, let's get to the one that finished last, which was on Saturday. Yeah, so a few days ago now. Still love it very, very much. It's a book that came out in 2021, I want to say, a few years ago now, actually. Been thinking about getting to it for a while, and then, yeah, 21. I believe it has a sequel coming up soon, next year, December, soonish. But anywho, I read The Love Con by Ceresia Glass. This has kind of been compared to Spoiler Alert by Olivia Jade. And I would say, yeah, it's kind of similar. I mean, they're both set in the fandom community. Though, like, that one had like a You Got Mail kind of base for it. This is more like a friends to lovers thing, and they're like from the get go they already know each other, like in different ways. Like in the Spoiler Alert, they didn't really know each other. Here they know each other. This one, I would say, has the very cute, at least I feel like it's cute, trope where both characters like each other, but they don't really want to destroy their friendship, so they just pretend that they just want to be friends. So I think I like it when like two characters have feelings for each other, but they just won't get around to talk about it. I feel like it's so cute and kind of refreshing. Like I love romances. Either one person is pining or one person is not available, like something something like that is the hindrance. But it's just kind of, yeah, very cute for when both parties they have the feelings, but they don't communicate. Well, I suppose they can't communicate. I mean, in this story, so they've been friends for like half their lives, and like when they were 19, one of them tried to like start a thing, but then the other one said like no, and like it's kind of, yeah, you don't really want to start a thing with a good friend just after a big breakup. You don't really want to have the friend become the rebound guy. So yeah, you kind of get that. But then the other friend might think, well, okay, so she doesn't want me at all, but it just was that she just didn't want him at that point in time. And yeah, so I just the romance in this one, it's just so well done and lovely, and yeah, I love it so much. It's set like, I suppose in case you didn't know, it's set around a competition, costume or cosplay competition, like costume TV competition. And because of reasons, honestly, I didn't really understand the reasons, but she decides to like fake date her best friend because of something. I didn't really understand the reasoning there, but yeah, she decides to fake dating because like at the end, like she gets to the final in this cosplay competition, and for the reasons she decides that she has to have a boyfriend, and like she decides to fake date this best friend. So they have to pretend to be a couple, and then of course sexual tension happens, and of course they kiss, and then sometimes they kiss, but I think it's just like, no, it's just for show, it's not for real. But like maybe they have really, maybe they should give this a go. And yeah, yeah, it's just a lovely, lovely story. And also, in addition to the lovely romance, the main characters, well, main characters, because this, I mean, it's dual point of view. I would kind of say that Kenya kind of maybe more is a bit more of a main character. How would you define a main character? I'm not quite. But anyway, yeah, Kenya, the woman in this relationship, like, uh just like literally, she's the one in the competition. She's the one that you meet the parents of. I suppose because the parents of Cameron, the guy, both his parents are dead, so I suppose you couldn't really meet them. Well, I suppose you could meet them in flashback, but yeah, you don't meet them. You hear about them, but like you have much more family stuff with the Kenya. And yeah, the family stuff is kind of like, really? Parents, really? But I also kind of thought, really? Kenya, really? maybe this is just kind of me being Norwegian, but honestly, I don't really. I feel like, and this is kind of spoilerish. Yeah, it's spoilerish. I'm just gonna mention it. But I feel like a trope, or how do you find trope? But yeah, something I feel like happens in um American TV, well, American media, like TV, books, whatever. Those was probably mainly in books because that's what I mainly do. Um, is that like if the main character and the parents disagree, but like still like all the parties are like they're all adults. Like the main character is 25 or 20 or like yeah 25, 20, 30. Like she's in college or finished college or like she's not an adult. No doubt about it. She's not like just turned 18. She's an adult. But still, like if the parents disagree with something that they kid do, it's kind of like okay, but my parents disagree, so I have to do what they think. And I just always think like, why? You're an adult. I mean, would you just? It kind of seems like people feel like they have to do what their parents do their whole like the do what the parents say their whole life. And I'm like, no, you don't live with them anymore. You're an adult. You have your own job. Or like if you don't have your own job, you can probably get some sort of job. I suppose that's silly me to say like, you can get some sort of job. But I suppose in most of these cases, like the character in question is a person with a degree, and like I feel like very often in like book world, they go from job to job. Like, have you ever really read a book about someone who's jobless for like a long time? I don't really think you have. I suppose that's kind of unrealistic, but because in real life people don't have jobs all the time. But yeah, I feel like in the book, book world, in book logic, like why do you do what your parents think you should do all the time? Like if what you want and with what your parents want is something completely different, why do you do what your parents want? Like when me, like I'm very pleased. I'm very privileged. My parents lovely people. They let people do what they want. They don't have never said like you have to do this and this and this. They always let me do my own thing. I suppose I never like wanted to do drugs or like anything crazy, but like still, yeah, they let me do my own thing. Sometimes I might say like maybe you should try this and this, but they always like let me have the last say and then yeah. But yeah, like if for some reason my parents wouldn't like didn't want me to do what I wanted to do, I won't do what they did because like it's my life. If you go around living your life in the way that other people want, you won't be happy. I mean, your life is like, I mean, yeah, for a while, if you do what your parents want, they'll be happy because they think you're happy or like their needs are needs are met or whatever. But like let's say you do what your parents want. You get the job, the college education they want you to do. You get the job they want you to do, and you do that for a long time. And then when your parents die, maybe they die when you're 50. Maybe they die when you're 60. And then you realize you lived a life for them, not for yourself, and you haven't really done what you wanted to do. And your life is more or less over. Like, not saying that your life is over at 50, but like you'll half your life is over then. So yeah, I suppose I never really understand those kinds of things. Maybe it's something to do with like the culture of Norway and the US. Maybe in the US it's much more like you have to do what your parents do all your life. You have to listen to them all life. I don't know. If you can tell me like what the rules are if you're watching this, some people that could be nice. Also with rules, so it's not really written down rules for parenting and stuff, but there seem to be like a yeah, a difference there between Norway and the US. I suppose curiosity is different between me and everyone else because it's not like everything I believe is everything all Norwegian believe. Of course not. I'm a person, not just a Norwegian. But yeah. But yeah, all in all, the Love Con, a great, a great romance, great characters. There's some steaminess, but it's not like just steaminess. It's I would say kind of perfect amount of steaminess, at least in my mind. And yeah, sometimes it's like a beginning, like they start talking about the steaminess and then they close the door. So it's not like you have a long steamy scene. So like for me, I kind of feel like some scenes with Steam can maybe be too graphic and too long. This doesn't really have that. And also, yeah, the characters amazing, plot is amazing. Just all in all, very good book. Sorry. And then up next, I also this also yeah, I suppose both theories were happened last week, but yeah. Last week I ended up picking up sorry, I'm blanking out on the title. Yeah, A Marvelous Lights by Freya Marsk. So this book has been out for a while, though okay, so it kind of became um, current because recently the third book in the series has come out. So it's a companion series of fantasy, romantic series, I would say, romantic stories. It's set in our world, but just like with fantasy elements to it. But like, I listened to it. I listened to a recommendation of this book, and I said like, you're gonna have to start at the beginning because even though there's different love stories in each book, like there's an overall arc of like the universe. So like, you kind of have to start at the beginning. So that's what I did. Listened to the first book, and yeah, enjoyed it very much. It is a male love story. I believe both are gay, though I might be wrong. There might maybe one of them is bi. I mean, it's not really put in those words, but yeah, kind of seems like they're both gay. But yeah, anywho, one of them is Baron, and at the beginning he doesn't really know anything about the magical world, and because of a clerical error, he becomes entangled in the magical world. He also ends up with a curse, which, my God, I mean, because the curse makes him ache and gives him pain, like excruciating pain, like and just at this random times, which yeah, it does not really seem nice at all. Kind of, I suppose you could read this and like kind of maybe head kind of like read it as like a interpretation or like a look at like what it is to have chronic pain, or like to like have pain. Like some people have pain in their life, like if they have cancer and whatnot. But yeah, and then yeah, and then the other person. So the one person is Baron. He's not magical. He's an orphan, though. Like he's an adult, but he recently became an Baron because his parents died. And he's kind of athletic and kind of a bit outgoing and stuff. And then he meets a guy, a colleague who's an introvert, not extrovert like him. He's a book lover, and yeah, kind of the opposite. So it's kind of like an opposite attract story. And yeah, it is just a very good book. I saw a review of this on the audiobook app that I use, and they said like it's a good written book, though it's kind of an original plot. I'm like, an original plot? I kind of felt like it was quite original. I mean, yeah, I suppose it's unoriginal in the way that it's a story with magic, but in our world, which is something that has a lot of books do. But at the same time, I feel like the version that the way that these people do it, I feel like yeah, I feel like it's quite different. Uh, you kind of had like yeah, lots of magical jargon, and you had like you had like something I'm talking blah 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 blah. Yeah, different like varieties of magic, and you have like some people have a lot of magic, some people have less magic, and yeah, it's kind of felt like the story is kind of very much like story and like the world were fleshed out. I feel like the second book probably will go deeper into it. And yeah, one of the things I very much enjoyed about this book was like how expansive and big the world was. I kind of very much enjoyed it. And I also kind of enjoyed how like at the beginning of the book, like one of the magical people said, or like Edwin, one of the main characters, talk about like this kind of magic is not possible. It's not possible. I'm not gonna say which it is, but just talk about one kind of magic, and then around the middle of the book, like, oh, it is possible. So I quite like when like they do like, no, this thing is actually possible. It's just not widely known, but it's something that some people do. And yeah, I kind of like that thing really. I very much enjoy that. I was quite mad at. Also, kind of interesting because, yeah, as I said, the two people in the couple, like they're quite different, opposite attracts thingy. Edwin, who's the magical person in this couple, he's a magical person, but he doesn't have a lot of magic as his brothers do. So he's kind of been bullied for that and kind of those kinds of stuff. And also his family kind of looks down upon him because he doesn't have a lot of magic and because of like how it is. Like everyone else in his family, they're kind of more extrovert and stuff, and they kind of, yeah, I would say they kind of bully him like more or less their whole life, his whole life. His mom treats him well, but the rest of the family not at all. While the other male in this couple, something I'm looking out. Robin, he has one sister because his parents died, but he and his sister are quite close. They're like they are on good terms. So it's just kind of a contrast that they're very much like family. Can be very bad, can also be very nice. And yeah, I quite like that. And yeah, just all in all, I very much enjoyed this book. Yeah, I felt it was original and great romance, great plots, great love stuff. And also, as I said, it's historical fantasy. As maybe I forgot to say, it's historical fantasy. It's actually set in the Edwardian period, which is around the First World War. Which again, I feel like the First World War is very much kind of ignored in historical books. Like often you have 1800s, 1700s, or you have 1940s or 1950s. But like the First World War around that time, I feel like it's kind of quite ignored really in books. And yeah, of course, I love it whenever something that's not often used in books, at least books that I end up picking up, is explored. And yeah, very much enjoy that. The next book in the series uh, is the love story of Robin's sister, and that's a female love story. It's set on a boat, and there's also murder mystery there. So yeah, that sounds quite fun. The third book is like based around one of the characters that you met in the book number one. I suppose, yeah, I suppose in a way you met all the characters in the first book. So far, I'm not really liking the character that we met in the first book, so I'm not sure if I want to read the third book. But then again, you kind of want to know like how the whole shebang ends, even though I just read one book, but I kind of want to know how it all ends. So yeah, I suppose probably mine will probably be changed by the time I finish the second book, maybe I'm thinking. And yeah, yeah, Marvelous Light by Freya Marsk. Also, she's an Australian author, so if you want to read authors from all around the globe, yeah, pick up that book. And yeah, 2 5-star reads that I both enjoyed immensely in different ways. Quite different books, but both very much enjoyed. And kind of felt like I had to recommend you guys. And yeah, if you read any of these books or if you had any other yourself 5-star reads lately, please talk to me in the comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye.